And so I know many of you worked your tails off. I don't know what Genevieve is going to talk about, but I'm telling you, the moment she speaks, anytime she leads, anytime she trains, anything I've ever been a part of with her, it's so life-giving. Because here's the thing, and I shared this in one of the posts I made about her the other day. Here's the thing with Genevieve. All of us want to do this job well. None of us want to be saleswomen. None of us want to be slimy or icky. And there's sometimes when we are in that process of posting or sending messages or trying to help people get the referral bonuses and duplication, there are times when we might feel a little icky. And the thing that I love about Genevieve is that she teaches us how to do this in just a really normal way, in a very authentic way. And so I hope that you guys have your pen, your paper, your notepads where you can just be taking frivolous notes. That's the hardest word for me to say, but taking copious notes for this evening. And then hopefully we'll have a few minutes at the end where you guys can ask her a question or two. Genevieve, thank you so much for being on.
Oh, Emily. I'm such an Emily fan, y'all. I mean, I know that you know she is the bomb diggity, right? Because if you don't, I am here to tell you, just do the things that she says. Like, this is a woman with such great heart. Like, I would be on her team for sure if I wasn't on the inside of the company. So you're in very, very, very good hands. We have so much confidence in what she's doing and so much pride in the way that she leads. So congratulations on picking the right team, and congratulations on earning this incentive. It is an honor to spend some time with you guys. Like, it's 6 o'clock my time, but for some of you guys, it's 9 o'clock. And that's determination, like 100%. To be willing to pour into yourself at 9 o'clock at night is like a big deal to me. Like, honestly and truly, you know, when you start something like Plexus, you may not really know where it's going to take you. But I have to tell you, being on this call tells me that you're on the right path. And all you have to do is just continue to move forward on that path. You know, when people get into network marketing, so many people underestimate the reward and they overestimate the work, right? So they're like, oh, this is going to be really hard and I'm not going to get anything out of it. And the truth is, most people don't think big enough to even remotely consider what this company, what this business could do for you and your family, right? We live in our own little bubbles and in our own little worlds. But the truth is there's so much more available to you through this business by simply helping other people. You know, I hate slimy salespeople, but I love selling. And I love selling because if you do it right, it is such a rewarding job, because you get to help transform people's lives. So when you really believe in what you're doing, you're not really selling products, you're helping to transform people's lives. And whether it's a life of, I'm not experiencing my best health, or it's a life of, I'm not experiencing my best life because there are these financial constraints that I just can't seem to figure out, or whether it's you're transforming people's beings because, gosh, they didn't even think they could do the things that they're now doing. And it just makes them a better person. It makes them show up in their lives in such a unique way that their life is changed, their relationships are changed. And listen, I know we're all moms here, but when you change the life of a mom, you change the life of a family. And that is nothing to, you know, shove under the rug. That is something that we have to unabashedly be okay with offering people. I am offering you the opportunity to have more for your family and in a bunch of different areas, or maybe just one area. But if you're not looking for more in your area, then that's okay. Cause it's kind of like having a restaurant and trying to feed people that just ate lunch, right? You could have the best hamburgers in the world, but if a bunch of people walking past your store literally just ate lunch, they're not hungry, right? So that's okay. You're looking for people who are looking for you. And I think that's like, when I think about people talking and succeeding in network marketing, I always tell people, like, seriously, stop selling to everybody. Like, everybody doesn't need Plexus. I mean, everybody kind of does need Plexus, but everybody's not ready for Plexus. And you have two choices. You can go and look for the people who are ready, or you can put your whole life and business on hold, waiting for people to get it. And one of those decisions leads to success, and the other one can lead to disappointment, because it's always about other people making their decisions for you. Like, for example, there are so many people right now that want to have better health, and all you have to do is kind of do like a little Easter egg hunt. You know, if I were to pull a dumpster up into your driveway and say, okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal, Laura Beth. I'm going to put this dumpster in your driveway. Now, inside one of the Easter eggs, I'm going to fill that whole dumpster with Easter eggs. Inside of one of those Easter eggs is $100,000. Now, all you have to do is find that Easter egg. How long are you going to focus on the eggs without the money in it? Right? You're not going to sit and open the egg and be like, this wasn't the one. I worked so hard and this one just didn't have the money in it. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, this one didn't have the money in it, right? That would be silly. We would be like, okay. And everybody would be cheering you on, like, it's in there, keep looking, right? Well, the same is true with network marketing. You are just looking for those Easter eggs with people in them that are like, yeah, not only, there's two things that need to happen when you make a sale. You have to show them that they have a problem that you can solve. And the second thing is, you have to test for readiness. As in, are you ready to do something about it? Those are the two things that qualify someone to have a closing conversation. Those are the types of people that you want to be spending time with. So you're going to have people in your sphere of influence that, like, yeah, I know I need to stop drinking all that Diet Coke, or yeah, I know I need to get on your products, but they have all these reasons that they're just not ready. So you're going to let them kind of simmer, and you're going to keep talking about their problems through social media. You're going to keep using social media as the mechanism to be the commercial, right? So we see commercials all the time on TV, and we know that we're not running out to buy the things that are on the commercial. But advertising companies know that if you keep talking about the problem and then your solution, when someone is ready, they'll remember you. So if you can set this business up in a way that it's fun to do, it's fun to open those Easter eggs and find that there's nothing inside in the pursuit of the one that has the money, then you're going to want to get up every day and keep doing the work, right? So step number one is, you really have to understand that sales is about transferring inspiration. And inspiration is a heart thing. So you want them to feel what you feel. You somehow have to creatively have a discussion with them talk to them on social, talk to them in person, but you somehow have to get them to see what you see, feel what you felt, and ultimately make the same decision you did, which is to try Plexus, right? So what does that look like? You know, I will tell you, one of the mistakes I see people make a lot is they talk a lot about our products. Slim is a great product, but what people need to know is what is the problem that Slim solves. So more than they need to know what's in it or how it works, you got to start talking about, like, I don't feel this way anymore, right? So, you know, and yeah, we want you to do it in a compliant way, because man, oh man, we got people saying all kinds of things about Slim that, while they may think that's true, we have not scientifically proven that. And so you can't be saying all the things. You have to say the things that we have scientifically proven, right? So you want to talk to people in a way that helps them understand, like, I see you, I see your problems, and I might be able to offer you some hope, right? So, hey, busy mamas out there, not feeling, like, to me, it's always great to talk about not feeling your best. Not feeling your best. Hey, busy mamas, you know, wanting more presence in your life, more time with your family. Do you feel like, gosh, your health is getting in the way with showing up to be the best mom or the best wife, you best friend that you could be? You see how that's talking about someone's problems, right? Do you wake up in the morning wondering, you know, what's going to happen with your health? Do you spend too much time worried about your health? Like, these are all things that at some point we probably all experienced. Do you, have you stopped dreaming that you could feel good from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to bed? Right? So those are all things that speak to someone's problem on an emotional level. And then you're going to be like, I found something that has worked for me. And you notice, like, I'm being super generic, right? But I'm being generic in a way that hits people emotionally, because I want to capture people in a lot of different buckets. So I don't care why you're not feeling great. I want to talk to you, right? You might be, hey, went to the doctor's this past month for the first time in forever. It didn't make me nervous to hear what he was going to have to say. Can anybody resonate with that? It could be like, hey, put on a new pair of pants today. Couldn't even believe. Check this out. 2 inches, 1 inch. I can fit 3 fingers in here. Oh my gosh, it's working, right? You didn't even say what it is. It's working. Oh, a friend of mine shared something on social media. I was totally skeptical of the things, but I feel so good now. I just want to share it with everybody. But notice that I didn't say what you're sharing with everybody, because I'm trying to create a little bit of intrigue. I'm trying to pull you toward me versus me shoving products toward you. So once you reach out to me, then I can go, Brittany, tell me what's going on. Like, oh, someone says, oh yeah, I totally want to hear what's going on. I'll be like, well, you tell me first. What's going on with you? What made you call me? What did you see? What resonates with you? And then I'm going to listen to Brittany, and I'm going to, okay, tell me more. I want Brittany to get all into her problems so that I can, one, assess, can I help her? Because she might be telling me something like, hey, Plexus isn't going to help that, right? And then I'm also trying to assess what products would be best for you. Like, I can't make a recommendation until I know how you're feeling. And then, honestly and truly, at the end of that conversation, I might just say something as simple as, Would you like to know what I found out about the root cause of most of these problems? It has to do with gut health. Can I send you a quick video that would explain this in like such clarity that your mind will be blown? And then I can call you back and we can take a next step. Right? See how that was all just very much like, hey, I'm the librarian at the library telling you which book to read based on what you told me you like to read. And I'm just going to keep showing up for people and listening to their concerns. So many times we spend so much time trying to get people to listen to us. And the most successful people in this business spend more time listening to people than demanding that they listen to them. So let's say that I send that over to Brittany. She's like, oh my gosh, that is incredible. And you're like, I know, I didn't know any of that. And let me share with you what my life was before Plexus, and either what my life is now, or what my friend's life is now, if you're brand new, or what my hopes are based on all the stories I've seen. Does that make sense? So anybody at any stage in the game can do that. And then I'm going to say, great, well, it's so simple to get started. It's so simple to get started. Are you open to hearing what your next steps are? And then you invite them to take a step. You're like, okay, so this is what I bought when I first got in. And you can tell them like right away, listen, I am totally happy to teach you what I know about getting your products paid for, by the way, but we can have that conversation later. But let's get you started, let's get you enrolled, and let's get your products on order. Super simple. Super simple. And hopefully none of that sounded super salesy. Whenever you're in a situation where you're like, that sounded salesy, you did one of two things. You either skipped a step in the sales cycle, as in you didn't actually see what their problems were. You didn't assess if you could help them. You went right for the close, right? That can feel slimy. Okay. Or you just skipped a step somewhere in it. So like you got to a certain point and then you skipped a step and then you tried to close them and you skipped a step. So order matters. And you can't honestly say the wrong thing to the right person. You really can't. So people worried about like, I'm worried about what this is. Like, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. They are literally looking for you. And it is 100% just about your confidence that like, this helped me. And I have to say, you should try it and see if it can work for you, right? When you make a movie recommendation, you don't promise that they're going to love the movie. They went and spent the money on the movie and the popcorn and all the things, right? All the good and plenties, all the things. And if they don't like the movie, that's not on you. You can only tell them that you liked the movie, right? I can't guarantee you're going to love the movie, but you're going to love the movie. Well, if they don't love the movie, they didn't love the movie. It's okay. Plexus works. So we got that going for us. Plexus does work. Plexus has worked for tens of thousands of people. So we've got that going for us as well. The step most people miss is just simply like, okay, no more questions? Great. Well, let's just get you started. Let's get you started. Right now, this month, it doesn't cost anything from an enrollment fee. It's $1. Sorry, it's $1. But you get a free favorite product of mine, right? Active, which is like what, a $40 value? Like Plexus is paying people to sign up this month. If you actually think about it, it's like, hey, we're actually paying people to sign up. Not technically, but we're giving you $40 worth of product when you sign up with a welcome pack. And it's $1 enrollment. There's no social, not that they need to know there's no social security number, but like the doors are wide open, y'all. The doors are wide open. We should be telling people it's so easy to get involved. So I want you to know this, and then I'll let you guys ask me specific questions. I want you to know you are here at this time for a reason. And there aren't a lot of opportunities where you're at the right place at the right time. There just aren't. It doesn't happen all the time. And I want to encourage you to move anyway, to act anyway. So move in your fear toward your dreams. Nobody says you can't be scared and do this. Somehow people think like, oh, I'm going to wait till I'm not nervous about it. No, that's not how it works. You do it nervous, and then like 6 months from now, you're not nervous about it anymore. You might be nervous about something else, but you're not nervous about what you were nervous about today, right? Do it scared, do it embarrassed, do it bad, because that is the only route to getting good at it. And you guys, I'm the same, totally and completely the same. I have the same fears that you all do. Even in training, I'm like, I'm going to try something new. I don't know if it's going to work, but I have to be willing to put it out there and fail in order to tweak it and make it right, or to try it and go, that just didn't work. That just didn't work. The best thing about Plexus is you are surrounded by people who really love you and are cheering for you. So your landing is super soft. If you fall, your landing will be soft, and you'll get a little kiss on your boo-boo, and you'll be propped back up and hugged, and we'll be like, back on your way. Try again, and just keep trying, because I just got back from a trip with the rest of the emeralds and the diamonds, y'all, and nothing says it was worth the effort like a full-size pool in your suite. I'm just saying, like, and if I had dreamed for a million years about what a vacation could look like, I would never have dreamed like, oh, I didn't earn it, so I had to work. But those people that earned it actually had a vacation. I was just around nice things while I was working. But I am telling you, the faces on so many of these men and women as they went into these rooms and saw like her room, legit, like at one point I had like 10 people in my pool. That's how big the pool was in my own room. And that was for every diamond out there. Now, you're not going to get to diamond tomorrow. Where we want you to head is gold. We want you to get to gold, because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You want a little secret? We're going to have an incentive for gold ambassadors that you will be able to attend a special gold training just for gold ambassadors. And you will be invited to a special gold party at convention. So we want to see you get to gold, because that's the place where we can start really pouring into you from a training standpoint, and where you're going to start to see all of the luxury and fun that Plexus throws out there if you will just walk it out in fear, in doubt, in skepticism, and you'll shake all of that off as time goes on. So I'm going to open it up for questions, but I do want to say thank you so much for all that you do. You guys are the lifeblood of this company. New people, new energy, new lives touched. It is part of what inspires us every single day to get up and do it scared, and do it weird sometimes, and do it skeptical. So I don't know, are we doing okay for time? Do we have time for Q&A?
Yes. Is it weird that I'm like in tears right now? Because just thinking about this group of women, I sit here and I look at all of you. Some of you are silver, some of you are all the way to senior gold. And I just
Oh, we have senior golds.
Yeah, we've got some senior golds in here too. My sisters won. Oh, wait, what'd you say?
So we got some Ruby stuff coming too. I'm just saying.
Woo! Well, I'm going to say my sister is senior gold and she's in here, Abby Snow, and she's the one that ignored me for 3.5 years, blocked me on social media. So that just goes to show
Bam.
if you are still consistent and you're loving your people. But all that to say, I just sit here and I look at all of you guys and I'm just so dang proud. I mean, look at Holly. She's here, what, 30 some weeks pregnant, dealing with COVID, and she shows up with a beautiful smile on her face. You guys are showing
Aw.
up and you guys are pouring your heart into this business. And it is hard, but it is so dang worth it. And I'm going to tell you really quickly, I was sitting next to Genevieve in June in Scottsdale. She so beautifully came to share and pour into some of, well, I say some, there were like over 600 people that came to this faux convention that we held. And she was sitting right next to me and she was about to go on. And I leaned over and I said, do you ever get nervous, like training or getting up and doing anything like this? Because look at this, like she's a natural, like she's so good with people. And she looked at me and she said, all the time. But how many people is she blessing and inspiring and helping to get out of our own ways and to act in fear by stepping outside of her comfort zone, right? So it's just so beautiful when you can see that coming from somebody else who's saying, yeah, this really scares me, but I'm doing it anyways, and see how many lives she's blessed and thinking about how that can be you, how that is you already. Anybody have any questions?
I'll take questions, comments, concerns, or snide remarks. I take them all.
Okay, I'm going to start the questions.
Okay.
There are a lot of really great trainings and like I said, this is kind of a beautiful mixture of silvers all the way to senior golds. What do you think some of your favorite trainings are, whether that's through corporate led or maybe some that you know of through YouTube? Like, do you have any that you would really recommend for people here?
Yeah. You know what? I think consistency is more important than a specific training. So I'm a big fan of spend 30 minutes a day in personal development. And I don't mean like spiritual development, because that's different. I mean personal development. So if you're not an expert at this, and none of us are, you're constantly looking for that one new thing that you could try. So if you find a book, and that's why I'm a big fan of our book club. So this month we're reading Outrageous Achievement, and it's by a woman who was in network marketing. And if you were to spend so you're a busy mom, right? So let's say you're a busy mom, you get the kids off to school or you get them down for a nap or whatever, and then you sit down and you want to work your business. I feel like a lot of women put themselves at a disadvantage because they don't transition effectively from busy mom to success-minded entrepreneur. And so that 30-minute window, and if you can't do 30 minutes, make it 15, could be the thing that just flips the switch for you and makes your time more effective because you're like, oh, okay, I remembered why I'm doing this. Or, oh, I now feel just a little bit more confident because I heard this one thing that is going to make a difference. So to me, it really, and listen, nobody's got time to sit down and read a book. Personally, I listen to mine while I'm either walking or showering and putting on my makeup and doing my hair. And I just listen to the same thing 7 times. And I don't worry about writing stuff down, because once you've listened to it 7 times through, you've heard it all. You've heard it all. So like my kids are great salespeople because they grew up listening to sales tapes in the car. And so they're all like, well, let me just tell you how to get what you want out of mom, like you got to start with her why and all. But it's just really funny. I was like, I just couldn't do Barney anymore. I was like, we're going to listen to this tape while I'm driving. I will drive you to soccer, but we're going to listen to my thing while we're driving soccer. Anywho, I would just find we have book club this Saturday. Get on it. Even if you don't read the book, get on it and then listen to that 7 times over it, like listen to it all week, you know? So that's kind of my take. I also, honestly and truly, y'all, I believe in learning how to perfect your selling skills, because good salespeople do really well and people don't ever feel like they were sold to. Bad salespeople make people run. So if you can find somebody who has a sales technique that you like, there's a book called, what is it called? To Sell is Human. I think that's by Daniel Pink. Great book. It's like everybody sells. Learn how to sell well. Because we are in sales. I mean, sharing and selling is really the same thing. You know, you got to transfer the sharing to an actual sale. Got to make that connection. And that's easy to do when you feel more empowered. But yeah.
That's great. Anybody have any questions? We have just like a minute or two left. Michaela, go.
I was gonna ask, like, okay, you've made the sale, you get your person. How do you talk about like onboarding with people, especially as we're moving towards that more like leadership role and like helping our people recruit? Like, how do you transition them to like doing their own thing or supporting them in that, I guess?
Business or product?
More business. Like if like you can be a rock star recruiter, but if you can't get other people and like help them do that as well, then like you're gonna spin wheels. So
yeah, so I think it's all about teaching systems. So one of the things that I think is that we miss out on is we don't have enough conversations during the recruiting process about what's going to happen after you recruit, after you're recruited. So for example, one of the things that I teach people is being able to say, hey, Abby, listen, once we get you all signed up, I'm going to teach you how to do a simple post and maybe get your products paid for. But we can talk about that after you sign up. Right? Then I'm going to sign Abby up and I'm going to go, okay, Abby, now that we've signed you up, we're going to set up a time to talk about how you could do a simple post and start to get your products paid for. Right? So I'm like starting the onboarding thought during that beginning conversation. I might even start it way at the very beginning. And listen, if you like this, I pride myself on being able to teach people how to get their products paid for. So I've said it like a bunch of times before, and she knows, like, okay, maybe she's like, no, you're not. And I'm going to say it a third time. She's like, no, you're not. And I'm going to say it a fourth time. She's like, no, you're not. But then I'm going to be like, okay, so now that you're signed up, what are your thoughts about like, a cool $200 or $300 by getting 3 people to do this with you? I could show you how to make a simple post. I believe in a budget-free plexus. So I would definitely start those conversations on the front side. In terms of business, I think the best thing that we could do for people is to start to tell them you are in your own business. Okay. So a lot of times what we do is we invite people to join us and we're going to lead the way versus like, we're going to do this together. So a lot of times it's kind of like, hey, I got this rowboat full of people, but nobody wants to row. And it's like, well, that's because you told them they were going to have a free ride. There's nothing you can do that is going to excite them about rowing. You haven't told them they have to get in and do any work. And by that time, people are like, I'm exhausted. I'm like, I know, because you got 12 people in your boat and you're doing all the rowing, right? So you have to start to have a conversation about like, hey, there's a minimal amount of work to make this work. Hey, about 5 hours a week, 5 to 10 hours a week. Can you dedicate 3 hours a week? Like you have to get a sense from them if they want to do it as a business. Like, let's get really clear with them. So, Michaela, before we actually get you started, what would success look like to you in like 30 days? Like, what kind of money in 30 days would make the learning worth it? Okay, good. Okay. And what kind of money in like 60 and then 90 days would make it like, so like, you see what I'm doing? I'm like setting up some goals for that person. And then I'm going to start using verbiage like, okay, well, I'm going to teach you how to work toward those goals using our team's system. Does that make sense? We can't be afraid of telling people the prescription to success. So if we've sold people on a transition and then we deny them accurate information to get there, we're not really helping people. Now, that being said, there's a huge period of time that people have to be able to fail. And so we have to be good at very sweetly reminding people, like, it's a lot of work to remind people, like, hey, Laura Beth, just a quick reminder, tonight is our team call where we're going to learn how to take steps toward our next business. Hope you can get on. Hey, Laura Beth, wanted to remind you, today is book club. We could get on together and we could hear, right? So you do a lot of that work where it's like we're fostering that because for about a year, y'all, for about a year, people are learning. And we kind of think like, well, I told you, it was like 2 weeks worth of help. You didn't do it. So you're dead to me. And it's kind of like, no, it's too early. They're still learning. And it's okay even to go, hey, Laura Beth, haven't heard from you in a while. I'm just wondering, like, are you feeling bad about your business? Are you feeling discouraged? Like, call me, girl. Let's get you off the struggle bus and back into the family, right? Get you back on the path. But we stop way too early, and we got to let people fail. We got to let them forget that the call was on Wednesday. We got to let them forget that, like, book club is a necessary part of the equation. And we gently just usher them back into the conversation. So when I finally get a hold of Laura Beth, and she's like, I'm just not working for me, and I'm like, okay, can we break that down? Let's break that down. So were you able to get on the book club? No. Okay. So is there any way we can get that back in? Because that is going to help you with mindset and disappointment. So let's get that back in, Okay. Let's take you back through this and back the steps back up. And then once people hit a rank, Michaela, then you're like, oh my gosh, when you are a gold, you are going to help with this, right? So you you graduate them to, like, now there's more responsibility and you get to do this. And oh my gosh, when you're a senior gold, you're going to help with our calls and I'm going to ask you to do this, so that you're kind of stepping them through the work so that it's not just all this, because you want those silvers to look at what the golds do and think like, oh, I can't wait to be a gold so I can help out or I can get the recognition that a gold gets, and then it becomes this fun thing that they want to do. Does that help at all?
And I think just getting in the trenches with your people. We had a jewel call this afternoon with a few jewels just talking about like top tips. And that was something that I just shared, like, you don't have to have this beautiful, perfected, which you may disagree, Genevieve, but like a system. Yes, we do have a system with what we're doing. It may not be this beautiful bullet point that we can say, oh, this is your system, but we have a system of adding, tagging, messaging,
yes,
sharing testimonials, getting them through
100%.
So like, we have that. So be confident in that. But so much of this onboarding process is you being in the trenches with them.
100%.
Showing them who are ready to move forward, who are showing us that you say, hey, Kanya, meet up with me tomorrow at 9:30 for a power hour and let's get some work done. And Kanya meets up with me at 9:30 for a power hour. I know that she is being serious. So I'm going to work with her and I'm going to show her messages that I'm sending. I'm going to help her with her messages. So I think for me, when I would hear you've got to have the system, it really freaked me out because it wasn't this Brooke Hemingway system.
No, listen, it does not require PowerPoints. And I am always telling people, I don't want to see any graphics. Like, graphics do not lead to success. What you have is a system. It doesn't have to be documented. It doesn't have to be in a binder. As a matter of fact, simple is better.
Yes. And I was just going to say one last thing based off of what you just said about kind of setting the bar for your people when they are starting to show interest in joining, or they decide to join, they're showing interest in the business. I think I shared this in our Goal Diggers thread. If you're not in there, then ask and I will send it to you. But it was a Kristen Boss podcast I listened to the other day, and she was talking about that. And she was saying, you cannot promise people that they're going to make six figures in the nooks and crannies of their day, because just like you were saying, Genevieve, like that means you're doing all the work for them. Like you have to let them know, like this is going to be hard and it's going to take sweat and tears and you growing and stretching your comfort zone. But let me tell you, it's going to be worth it. And so setting that stage at the beginning is so important. And I see some people not doing that because they're so afraid they're going to scare people away. But this is a job. Like if you're making a doctor's salary or a lawyer's salary, you can't assume that you're going to come in totally unskilled and you're only going to work a few minutes a day. And then you're going to turn around in a couple months bringing in $20,000 a month. Like that's just not possible. Like that's too good to be true. So it's just really important to like not be afraid that you're going to scare people away by being honest, but letting them know you're going to be there with them to help them.
Yes.
You want this for them.
Yes. I will guide you through the work.
Yeah.
Right? I will guide, we will do the work together. Yep, completely agree. Amen to all the things, Emily. All the things.
Do you want to do a podcast together, Genevieve? Should we start
100%.
one?
Yes.
Okay, well, you guys, thank you so much. I know that it's getting late where you all are. This has been 46 minutes of just bliss and such great training. I loved what you said about the dumpster and that egg that has $100,000 in it, and not dwelling. Like if the egg doesn't have it, keep looking, keep looking. That is such a great analogy. The movie analogy. It's not about you. If they don't like the movie, you love it. You're inviting them to it. If they don't like it, it's not on you. Like so many great nuggets that you gave us. So you guys, way to go. Way to earn this. I know we're missing some people tonight, but we're going to share this recording with them. Genevieve, you are a dear, and we're going to be with you in Hawaii next year. I don't even know how many names on my wall that have said, I'm going, I'm committed to doing this. So I can't wait for you to meet all of my team.
I can't either. I can't either. And just follow your leaders. This is a crazy, incredible team. You've come this far. You can do the next thing. I promise you. So thanks so much, Emily. Love you so much.
Guys, love you so much. Thank you for being on tonight.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.